Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A very warm welcome to today's session. This weekend we are doing, we have organized lectures by Swami Chidrupananda ji under our life and works of Advaita Acharyas. And this time we will be focusing upon the life and works of Swami Chinmayananda ji, the Pujya Guruji who started the Chinmaya Mission. Before we begin, let me start with a small prayer. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji is one of the world-renowned spiritual master of 20th century. He had touched upon the lives of millions of people across the globe with his powerful, witty, and very impactful teachings. He worked non-stop to carry forward the mission of Hindu Rishi Parampara to common people. And I'm very, very grateful today that we have Swami Chidrupananda ji, who is the Acharya of Chinmaya Mission, to share about the life and the works and the legacy of Swami Chinmayananda ji. Just a brief introduction to Swami Chidrupananda ji. Swamiji is presently working, he is stationed as Acharya of Chinmaya Mission in Noida. And for more than 20 years, he has worked at different roles at the national level in the youth wing of the Chinmaya Mission, such as Secretary General, Director, North Zone of all Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, and many others. Chinmaya Yuva Kendra is the youth wing of Chinmaya Mission, serving the youth all over India since its inception in 1975. Swamiji Chidrupanandaji has been a constant support for all the activities of Indica Moksha as well. We are very grateful to you, Swamiji. Again, a warm welcome to you, Swamiji, for making time for this program. Please go ahead, Swamiji.
Thank you, Nitin. Thanks to Indica Moksha also for giving me this opportunity to speak on Pujya Gurudev. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Hari Om to everyone. We have to, today and tomorrow, we have 4 sessions, 2 hours of each session, to know about one of the greatest Advaitic Acharyas of 20th century, Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji Maharaj. See, concept of avatar in our tradition is well known to all of us. And we don't differentiate between Guru and Ishvara. And we believe it is Ishvara alone who takes birth in the form of various gurus on earth from time to time to rescue all the seekers of truth from this ocean of samsara, guide them to live life and also to lift them all up. Right. And there are many avatars are mentioned. In our Puranas, mainly 10 avatars and many other avatars are mentioned. Apart from them, these enlightened beings, those who have awakened to, as Gurudev calls it, as a entered into a new dimension of consciousness, they appear on earth from time to time to guide the mankind, and their presence on earth is a great blessing to the entire mankind. In 20th century, we have seen many spiritual luminaries from this great land of Bharata. Many luminaries we have seen of different approaches they took to truth, and they guided the people. So many saints and sages were there in 20th century. And each of them, they were like a special fragrance. There was like a special fragrance in this beautiful garden of Ishvara, the Almighty Lord. And it is through these saints and sages, every time the humanity is being taught, the humanity is taught how to live, depending upon the situations, prevailing situations during their times. And many people have come in contact with all those great spiritual luminaries. So I can only say, blessed are those who came in contact with a great sage or a saint. And primarily, the mission of these great masters, the primary mission was what? To awaken the divinity in the hearts of the men and women, people, to make them know their own essential nature. And of course, the first step would be to establish peace in the hearts of the people, peace in the society. So all these things are absolutely required, and Mahatmas have done their job to the humanity time to time. And we are also blessed, all of us, for having been born at such a time where we could see many great spiritual luminaries, especially in 20th century. And one such a Mahatma who has tirelessly worked for our culture. Tirelessly means tirelessly, without rest, and is in his own unique style. And he had lifted millions of human beings by his teachings. He guided, and he, even today, after almost 3 decades are over. When Pujya Gurudev had left this mortal coil, his mortal coil, 3 decades are over. By August 3rd, we complete 30 years. But there are millions on globe who are touched by the presence of the great master. And they're all growing. So even today, when we think, those of us who have come in contact with Pujya Gurudev, right from our many old devotees are there, and many monks, right from our Guruji, Pujya Guruji Swami Chinmayananda, and many other monks, present head, everyone, from Chidrupananda and many Acharyas, right from the monk order and also in the devotees order. When we think of Pujya Gurudev and his work, we wonder how he had achieved all those things that he had achieved, even before the availability of modern or digital media, such as email or mobile phones or many platforms. Without all these things, At the most, we got facts in the late 80s. So how he has achieved all these things? Even today, when personally, if I think about Pujya Gurudev's work, it's a great wonder. So therefore, such a great Mahatma, whom we call most reverentially as Param Pujya Gurudev, His Holiness Swami Chinmayananda Ji Maharaj. And his life was a great inspiration. Even today, it is great inspiration for all those who have come in touch with him, contact with him. Many may not have seen him, but many of them are inspired by coming in contact with those who have seen Gurudev, or many by reading his books, by watching his videos, talks. Many people are inspired. So, when we remember Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda Saraswati, one thing we come across, and immediately it strikes all of us, is that Gurudev was the one. His name is synonymous with the renaissance of Bhagavad Gita in modern times. He brought Bhagavad Gita to every house. Otherwise, people used to keep Bhagavad Gita to read only when somebody dies at home. They used to keep it in puja room, worship sincerely, take out only when some occasion comes. From that kind of puja room to living room, on the dining table, on the study table, Gita was brought by Pujya Gurudev. And what was his main goal? Main goal is, he was, I would say only he was restless. When he met Dalai Lama Ji, Gurudev, so Gurudev asked, why didn't you ask Dalai Lama Ji, please do this and do that? And Dalai Lama told, I believe, oh, you are very restless. Then Gurudev said, yes, I am restless to take the message of divine message to all humanity across the globe. There's an urgency in me to make them awake. And he told, so you also should travel, told Dalai Lama Ji. It's a recorded fact. And Gurudev invited him to Prayagraj, Allahabad conference, where Dalai Lama Ji attended that conference. So that was he says, I'm restless, in the sense, in a restlessness, not in like our restlessness. He was very feeling, urgency is there. He felt the urgent need of reviving the culture, ancient Rishi culture, and bring that message to everybody, every house. So the Bharatiya culture, it should be revived, preserved, and brought to everyone so that we can ensure on the planet, because this culture, the knowledge that we have in this culture, in our this entire our Sanatana Dharma, that knowledge alone is required now even to sustain the humanity on the planet today. And there is no exaggeration in it, because it is universal, very deep, and it addresses all problems of humanity, provided we study them with the help of a great teacher, go dwell deep into it. And that is the answer to all the problems of humanity, because our Upanishads is an answer, Gita is an answer. And that book, which is universal, teachings of Lord Krishna. So therefore, Pujya Gurudev wanted a harmony, peaceful life on earth. Oh, that is only possible by reviving the Hindu culture or the Sanatana Dharma, so that the entire globe can be benefited by these teachings. Think. So all the knowledge and wisdom that is available to guide the whole humanity rests where? In the scriptures of Sanatana Dharma. As I said again, I'm telling you, there is no doubt in this. So therefore, the more we are exposed to scriptural study, The more it's like a mirror, it reflects what we are. It shows our true nature, true picture, true condition of ours. So we can get all kinds of guidance to sustain humanity, to keep the planet healthy. That's because that our culture, Hindu culture or Sanatana Dharma, Hindu is the word later on came. Sanatana Dharma is such a very expansive, the panoramic view it provides. It supports everything on the planet. So it can keep planet healthy. It can bring Sanatana Dharma, we can bring peace and prosperity on the earth. And also it can thrive for all-round progress. So the Sanatana Dharma will make us understand and make us help living the principles of life which are given by the great rishis, and that is enough to solve all the problems of humanity. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda used to roar again and again, I am proud to be a Hindu. Why? Because this knowledge, not that we are born in this country, therefore I am proud of it. That is not the aspect of it. This knowledge, so I am lucky to be born in this great land where this knowledge is available, which can sustain the humanity, which can make the planet healthy, which can solve all the problems of humanity if we only have that patience and proper guidance to peep into the great scriptures of the rishis, especially Upanishads and Puranas also, and Itihasas and Bhagavad Gita, which of course comes in Itihasa only, Mahabharata. So to study such a great master who had worked tirelessly, globetrotter he was, and every breath a teaching. A book also has come. That is appropriate heading. In every breath he taught. So I am also lucky, right from my childhood, to come under his grace, his blessings, his guidance. So even today, Gurudev is available to all those who can invoke him. So we shall study such a great master's life, teachings, his mission. And also we can come, we study various aspects of his teaching, some of the special things. And I'm telling you, even these 8 hours of talk, 2 hours of 4 lectures, is not enough to understand even a wee bit of that great Mahatma. Because, everyone whom he has touched has so many stories to share, so much of wisdom to share, and his work is so phenomenal. As we go through in this 4 lectures, we will try to study as much as possible to know the greatness of this great Mahatma. Now, let us come to the history part of it. Okay, very interesting. His family, birth, very important. So, Pujya Gurudev was named as Balakrishna Menon. He was Balakrishna Menon. And he was born in a well-to-do family in Kerala, so Malayalam family. In the year 1916, on May 8th. 8th May, we celebrate as his birthday. So 8th May, he was born in 1916. His mother, his name was Parukutti Amma. But she passed away after giving birth to Pujya Gurudev. When Gurudev was only just 5 years old, mother had died. And Gurudev had 2 sisters. Their names are Padmini and Kanakam. These 2 sisters are there. So, this Parukutti Amma, their family, a very big family there. She was one of the 8 sisters. So Gurudev, mother's side, 8 sisters they are, and 2 brothers. And the house name is called Putampalli House. In Kerala, they follow this matriarchal system where women, they continue to live in their own maternal home after marriage. So they continue to. So that family is so big family. Imagine 8 sisters and 2 brothers. So it's a large family. It is so wonderfully set up. And because of their joint family, very important, the joint family, each one stood for everyone else, cooperation. So it was actually a big cushion for the entire joint family. So any calamity, any problem, the whole family was together. And the family was so big, and they're well-knit family. And they have many, many traditional values that they follow. They observed these great values in their daily life. So Gurudev was born in such a family. Okay. So in the Putampalli house, Pujya Gurudev was brought up in the joint family, matriarchal family. And Gurudev's mother's elder sister, her aunt, his aunt, it's called Kochu Amma. This Kochu Amma, Kochu Narayani Amma, mother's elder sister, she took care of this child, Balan. Gurudev said many times, I heard him telling about his personal story. And he said that in a joint family, if mother is passed away, you are brought up by mother's sister and you don't even know who is the mother, because there is no difference. The child always considers that elder mother, the mother's elder sister or mother's younger, whoever is brought up in the joint family, that boy or girl consider that he or she, when she is my mother, that's it. I heard this in a reference not about himself, but indirectly referring himself only. But that is the beauty of joint family, Gurudev quoted. So this Kochu Amma took care of the child, and she brought Pujya Gurudev in his life. And this Amma, very great Amma she was. Seamlessly she worked in taking care of Balakrishnan and also his sisters, both Padmini and Kanakam, with great love, tenderness, and as a true mother, along with her own 4 children. So she adopted everybody as my children only, the pure love. And all children were beautifully brought up by Kochu Amma, Gurudev's mother's elder sister. And this Kochu Narayani Amma, when she attained her 28 years of age, she lost her husband and also 2 of her sisters. One is Gurudev's mother, another sister also gone. So when husband died, 2 sisters died. Right. So the entire family responsibility fell upon this lady of the house. And she was doing all her duties so beautifully. She served everyone. So naturally, Balan or Pujya Gurudev, he bonded with her so beautifully, so deeply, that Pujya Gurudev remained in touch with her. Even after Sannyas Diksha, he took care of her. He took his mother to Yajnas. Think about it. He never left her in his life, even after Sannyas. Always used to inquire about Amma's health. He would call him Amma only. And Kochu Amma's son, Bhaskar Menon, he also had a great role to play in Pujya Gurudev's life. Now, what happened? When his mother died, Gurudev's mother, later on his father, Kuttan Menonji, he had married again. Her name was Devaki. So stepmother Devaki. And Devaki and Kuttan Menon, they had 4 children. All of them always looked up to Pujya Gurudev. In later years, with great love and respect, when Gurudev became great Mahatma, they always loved, looked up to Gurudev with great love and respect. They always used to adore him. So this family, all of them are living together. They all had many traditional values that that family values, very important. And one of the family traditional is what? Evening prayer is a must in the family. All members have to sit together, come what may. So all will come, sit in the puja room, including Balan, our Gurudev. He was a child, but he had no escape. He had to sit in the puja room. And without attending the prayers, food is not served. So these prayers are attended by everyone in the family compulsorily. And there is no respite from doing this daily ritual to anyone. They all have to come and sit there. So that Gurudev writes about it, that particular beautiful habit, what he used to do, how he used to feel that every day Arati, Puja, etc. It used a long time, maybe nearly 1.5 or 2 hours nearly. And that house, Mutampalli house, that used to be frequented. Mahatmas, learned people, sadhus used to come to that house. See, I think we already learned the values from Gurudev's life, family togetherness, family tradition of at least one prayer, everybody should come together, and inviting sadhus and Mahatmas to the house for Bhiksha. See how many values we are learning. And they had their own Kula Gurus. Family had Kula Gurus. Their Kula Gurus come. Yes, this Swami, this Mahatma, we belong to that, so that they are invited to home for Bhikshas. So Gurudev mentions about them, that particular life, in one of his writings. So Gurudev writes, I am quoting Gurudev. I am reading what Gurudev mentioned. Gurudev says, the son Balakrishna grew up amidst the family as a pet of both Sri Chattambi Swamigal and Yogiraj Bhairavananda, who were the Kula Gurus of the house. These two Mahatmas used to visit. More about it we will see. The daily evening pujas, Gurudev writing, I am quoting Gurudev. The daily evening pujas of the strict and extremely religious house, the insistence that children should have their japa and nama sankirtan every day at dusk, these gave him a great push in the illustrious path of devotion. Balan's, Gurudev writing about himself, Balan's prayers would probably end in a half an hour. But the elaborate daily puja would lengthen to some 2 hours. The child was not allowed to move out of the puja room before Arati, and thus compelled to resist sleep and somehow stick to his seat till the end. The child grew extremely imaginative. During this endless vigil, he asked 1,000 questions to himself regarding the why and where of the whole show. He got no answer. The problem got all the more nitty, or the questioning became more nitty. I couldn't get any answer, Gurudev says. He's continuing. What attracted Balan and suited his temperament the most was the picture of the Lord Chandrasekhara. The bust only, with Sri Gangaji flowing out of his matted hair, so beautifully gathered together into a heap on his crown, the crescent and the serpent, the broad forehead, smiling eyes of mercy, the beaming mouth that seemed to talk of tenderness and affection from behind his mustache. In short, Shiva was the picture after Balan's own heart. That picture is still there. In the sense, we know that what kind of picture that is coming into my mind now, because I saw what kind of picture Gurudev used, the photographs. So he used to bring that picture into his eyes, in front of his eyes. And it was during those days of waiting for the conclusion of the puja. You had to wait. Gurudev said that Swamy Chinmaya was born in Balan, the frail child. Somehow then, Balan stumbled upon a new game. Because getting bored, in puja. Getting bored in puja. Child he was. And they elaborate mantras and arati, etc., etc. So Gurudev said, Balan stumbled upon a new game. What is the game? To look at the picture of his Lord, then shutting his eyes to see him exactly as he was in the picture, in the darkness within. So Gurudev used to do that. Look at the picture of Lord Shiva, capture the form with all details, close your eyes, close his eyes, and he would see Shiva in his own heart, the darkness inside. He used to see the Shiva there. But the picture used to get dissolved. Then again he would open, see the picture, capture it in his heart, and close it again. So this game gave Balan a job so sweet and pleasant that it became a habit to call up his form at all hours into his mental screen of darkness. So beautiful. So whenever he wanted to recall, bring that Lord Shiva's picture on his mental screen of darkness, Lord Shiva used to flash. At that age, he mastered that skill. And the picture came readily as it was ordered, inverted commas, as though it was ordered. Come on, picture Lord Shiva, come in that picture for the form of Lord Shiva as you are in the picture. Come in front of me and be there. Give me darshan in the mind. The picture would come. So he would order, picture would come. So Gurudev says, the Balan's wonder, his wonder grew at his own successes. Wonderful. He became more successful. He was able to recall Gurudev's picture whenever he wanted. So this is how Pujya Gurudev gave in an interview. It was published as a recorded, Champion magazine on 18th December 1949. By then he became Swamy Chinmayananda. So that was the family tradition. I hope I have, to all the listeners, I don't have to tell you, remind you that what are all the values that we have to practice in our houses, and what are the techniques that Gurudev is giving us. At that age, he mastered as spiritual sadhana. So he actually is training us, indicating us. When we study the Mahatma's lifestyle, many life stories, we learn a lot. How the family was, how Gurudev was, how he used to spend time, and how he used to feel. Like many of us feel, oh, puja is boring. Perhaps we can do this practice. So coming back to the story, Balakrishnan, he firmly believed, because he could not spend any time with the mother, no. So Kochu Amma was his real mother. Kochu Amma means mother's elder sister. When his father got married again, right, and he moved to Trishur, Irinjalakuda. I may not pronounce exactly Malayalam words, doesn't matter. Irinjalakuda in Trishur district. On transfer, he was transferred. So the children had to go with him. I believe Balan refused. He said, no, my mother is Kochu Amma. How can I leave my mama? I cannot come. So after pursuing much, somehow Gurudev joined his father and went to Trishur for schooling. So he came back to Putampalli house after schooling in Trishur for intermediate 11th and 12th classes. He came back to Ernakulam again back to Putampalli house, mother's house. So he went to Trishur for schooling, came back to again Ernakulam. And see the stepmother. Stepmother ke baare mein, Devaki. She is also not an ordinary lady, where his father married again. So Devaki. So she was a postgraduate in Sanskrit and very pious lady. And she used to observe fasting on all festival days, especially on Shivaratri, etc. And she was a devotee of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So she would frequently invite the monks of Ramakrishna Mission to house for Bhiksha. All right. She is very well read, postgraduate in Sanskrit. So that was the family. Of course, Gurudev's father passed away in 1953 after he started Gita Jnana Yajnas. After Sannyas Diksha, 1953, Gurudev's father had passed away. And then next year, 1954, his stepmother also passed away. Right. And Gurudev used to help the siblings, the half sisters, half brothers, everybody. Now, as I said in the beginning, even after Sannyas Diksha, see the connection. He never left his mother and father. He used to go, mother means Kochu Amma here. Of course, he used to meet Devaki, the stepmother, and also his father, Kuttan Menanji. So he never met, and he used to spend a couple of days with her. And Kochu Amma also would eagerly wait for the visit of Gurudev. Later on, Pujya Gurudev took her to a couple of yajnas also in Kerala. And she used to listen, sitting, Pujya woman listening to Gurudev, sitting in the audience on the ground. What feelings she would have got, just think. And she passed away in 1967. So after much, his father passed away, the biological father, Kuttan Menanji, stepmother passed away in 1954. And then Kochu Amma, the one who brought her up. So Gurudev started his work in 51. So almost 16 years, he was in touch with mother, and mother also used to get frequent visits of Gurudev. And she is really advanced soul, I would say. And imagine, very interesting. Interesting means I just want to share my thought on that. When Kochu Amma died in 26th March 1967, mother's eldest sister, the one who brought Gurudev. That time Gurudev was in Calcutta. And one of Kochu Amma's granddaughter, so Kochu Amma's granddaughter, she was with Pujya Gurudev in Calcutta, attending Yajna. So Gurudev got the news that Kochoma passed away. So he heard the news and Gurudev told, I believe, the whole of last night I was with my mother. The whole of last night I was with my mother. Gurudev, it's my personal feeling, and I have no doubt about it. And I have got my own experience in that. That Pujya Gurudev, not only a great Acharya in Advaita, not only an enlightened being, he was also a Mahayogi with many powers, but he never allowed any one of us talk about them. That we will see when the context comes. So that was the Gurudev. So this reminded me when I read this, Ramana Maharshi and his mother. How Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi spent whole day, morning till evening with his mother, keeping one hand on her heart, one hand on her head. And in the evening, when she finally left the body, Gurudev Ramana Maharshi said, she attained moksha. So Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi made her go through, it is said, some people say, commented, all the samskaras or vasanas are burned within that period in the presence of Ramana Maharshi, and he released her. So the whole night, the whole of last night, I was with my mother. That was just Gurudev's. So we went to Gurudev, completed his schooling, came back to Ernakulam, and we just touched about his father, mother, and Kochomas. Then we come back to story. Now, as Pujya Gurudev was growing in the Putampalli house, we had seen that many great Mahatmas used to visit. Especially Gurudev said about Chettambi Swami. He was a very frequent visitor, and Tirthapada Yogi, that he would do, both of them used to come. So about Chettambi Swami we should study. Now see things in Gurudev's life. We cannot avoid Chettambi Swami. We cannot avoid knowing about Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj of Divine Love Society, who was Diksha Guru of Gurudev. Of course, we cannot avoid talking on Paramaguru Swami Tapon Maharaj. We just can't avoid these three. These three are conspicuously seen in the Gurudev's life. Chettambi Swami, Gurudev talks about him, that we will see later. Shivanandaji Maharaj and Tapon Maharaj. So we shall see in our talks in this, we shall see about Chettambi Swami's story, and also Shivanandaji Maharaj, and of course Tapon Maharaj. Apart from studying about Gurudev as best as we can study in these 2 days. So now, let us now come to the talk about Chettambi Swami. Now, during his childhood days, Chettambi Swami frequently used to visit the Pudampalli house. When he was 4-year-old, 5-year-old at that time. And Chettambi Swami was a great spiritual master in Kerala. He was born in 1853 and he left his mortal coil in 1924. So he lived about 71 years. 71 years he lived. And not many have heard about him outside Kerala. When he was 60-year-old, people have gathered. Great Mahatma he was. We can see this greatness of Chettambi Swami. We will see about that story. So people gathered and they gave him a title called Vidyadhiraja Tirthapada Parama Bhattara. The title was Vidyadhiraja Tirthapada Parama Bhattara. Big title. But he always preferred his very beautiful name, Chettambi Swami only. So he was called as Chettambi Swamigal. Born in 1853, August 25th. And this Mahatma, born in a poor family, so he used to live by gathering flowers and vegetables growing in the nearby forest areas, bring them up, collect them, sell them, and then help the family to live, eke out his livelihood. And therefore, he had no money also to attend school. Going to school, money was required. But what did he do? He learned languages, Malayalam, Sanskrit, and Tamil. By his intelligence, sharpness, with the help of known neighbors and friends, etc., close neighbors, those who are close to him, he learned these languages. When he is so keen, somebody saw him, one of his relatives. So this boy is so much interested in studies. So let me send him to school. So he sent him to a school, the school run by somebody called Raman Pillai Asan. Now, the boy intelligence, sincerity, commitment, sharpness in learning, this boy has impressed his teacher. Then the teacher made him Chettambi. Chettambi means what? A monitor. Class monitor is called Chettambi. Chettambi. Monitor. What was doing? Teacher says, when I go out, please control the class, monitor the class. Class should be under your in chargeship. So be there. So Chettambi Swami used to be there in charge. So he's called Chettambi Swami. Became Chettambi Swami like that only. He became ultimately by that name only. Now, the boy started absorbing all kinds of knowledge, meaning whatever relevant knowledge is there. Great Mahatma he was. So he gained knowledge from different sources. And the teacher found out that this student, my favorite student Chettambi, is not available in the nights. Nights is missing. He is not seen. So one day what he did, he followed him. With such party leke, 4-5 log, 4-5 people, he took them with them, said, let us search, where this boy is. And they found out this boy in the night is sitting in a dilapidated temple in the nights, absorbed in deep meditation. Chettambi Swami. Then they understood that this boy is not an ordinary boy. Samskara, right from childhood, he was absorbed in deep meditation. And this Mahatma, Chettambi Swami, very fond of Kathakali dance. Those Keralites, or some of you know, if you're not a Keralite, also Kathakali. And he also mastered many mudras of the dance form. And he was a multifaceted personality. He was learning anything he wanted to learn, he would learn fast. And he used to practice yoga, and he attained many siddhis. Chettambi Swami was a Siddha Purusha and Advaiti. Staunch propagator of our culture. And interesting thing, he knew the language of animals. So he would communicate with all kinds of animals around. Snakes he would talk to, frogs he would talk to, ants he would talk to, rats he would talk to, cats and dogs were his friends. So he was such a Mahatma. All these animals also he would know the language of them, and he used to communicate with them. And also the great wrestler and very good poet. And also great, well mastered in Ayurveda and he also knew astrology. Now, what else we need about this great multi skills and so much of knowledge he had gained, Chettam Swami. And one story I read about him, Gurudev mentioned in one of the books is there. Chettam Swami, one day he was living in some house and he had one langoti. He washed and dried. He kept in the room only. Room or outside, I don't know. He kept it for drying. And one langot was he wearing. Other, he has not much clothes and all. So some angavastra, some must be there. So by the time morning he got up, his langot was somebody teared into multiple small pieces. He knew this is not the work of any human being. It's the work of rats. Rats only, they ate the entire langot and made them into pieces and threw them. Chettam Swami, next day morning he saw his langot was there. He called all the rats. And I believe in that house nearby, about 10-12 rats came and stood in front of him in line. He made them parade in front of him, stand there. Then he asked all the rats, who did it? This mischief. He summoned them. Then the one of the rat came, I believe, forward. He said, I did it. Then Chettam said, don't do this mischief again. I warn you. Don't do this. It is not good. It is not your food. Something like that. And all rats were run away. That was the power of Chettam Swami. And he studied Vedanta. Many scriptures he studied in Tamil and Malayalam. But yet, he had to harbor his own, to take care of mother, no? In spite of all knowledge. So he carried bricks and sand to build that imposing secretariat building in Trivandrum, now Thiruvananthapuram. And later on, he just promoted, worked as a document writer. And ultimately, because of the skills and knowledge, he became a government clerk. And this Mahatma aimed for a guru. He wanted a guru to initiate further tapasya. So he was initiated into Balasubramanya Mantram and Pranava Mantra by different Mahatmas and by saints on different occasions. And he led a pure, austere life and became known as a Swami and a great Siddha who could cure, with his own mantra shakti, any diseases he would cure. Such a Mahatma he became. And many miracles were attributed to him. And he met Narayana Guru, very popular Guru Narayana, who was actually against the evils of caste system. But Narayana Guru, you can find in Kerala also, everywhere you find Narayana Guru statues are there. So Narayana Guru and Chettam Swami became both friends. And a very interesting thing, Swami Vivekananda met Chettam Swami in Ernakulam in 1892. Swami Vivekananda. In the house of what? Rama Iyer, the Diwan secretary, who was a great admirer of Chettam Swamigal. Vivekananda went to Chettam Swami, and these two great sages had a very interesting discussion about Chinmudra, and Swami Vivekananda visited him again. Next day also he came and visited Chettam Swami. See, imagine now Chettam Swami. Such a great Mahatma. So during his travels, he used to frequently come to Putampalli house. Many other saints would come to the house. And that time, he would play with our Balan, our Chinmayananda Gurudev. They used to spend time together. So a good Balan, the Chettam Swami used to lie down and then fold the legs, keep the Balan on his legs and swing and talk to him. That was about it. He used to say that way. So, Gurudev told about this experience. Gurudev he wrote an essay called Secret Initiation. Gurudev wrote Secret Initiation that he got from Chettam Swami when Gurudev was about 4-year-old. 4 or 5, he said. So, Gurudev Chettam Swami used to adore so much that in his room in Kutia in Mumbai also, there Chettambi Swami photo used to be there, and also three Mahatmas, Narayana Guru and also Paramahamsa Tirthapada photograph. All the three Mahatmas photographs Gurudev used to keep it in Kutia. They are all there in our books. So the Sishyas of Chettambi Swamigal, they inherited a title called Tirthapada. They are still ashram is there. And one day, what happened? At the age of in 1924, 71-year-old, Chettambi Swami's health was deteriorating. He sat in Padmasana one day. He gradually withdrew his pranas and consciously dropped the body. That was what? When? 5th May 1924. That was a great Chettambi Swami. That Chettambi Swami initiated Gurudev. He used to come to frequently to the house of Putampalli house. And Gurudev met the first spiritual master when he was very young. He was none other than Chettambi Swami, who initiated him secretly. That Gurudev only tells in his own words, that which now we will see. What Gurudev said? Gurudev wrote about Chettambi Swami like that. He says, I'm quoting Gurudev. It must have been in the early 20s. I only have a dim, vague memory. And yet, the flashes that rise in my bosom are unfailingly clear. They have been my silent inspiration. Vague, memories and then picture that comes. They have helped me, the flashes, more often than I dare to confess. It cannot be explained because it all happened when I was only 3 or perhaps 4 years old. So his mother was alive. The one mother who gave birth, Parlakuttiamma. I remember the unique smell of the long white beard, the rough hairy chest, and the round soft belly. He used to be a regular visitor to our house in Ernakulam. And my mother tells me it was his usual practice to lay me on his chest and lie down on a cat and prattle with the child. Mother means Kochu Amma must have told. The child, in his turn, I am told, used to prattle back. Child, you would talk. Chettambi Swami used to talk to Gurudev, the child, and Gurudev used to respond and prattle, I believe. And thus, long periods of quiet communication used to be between the great Swamigal and the innocent child. What they used to know. So as the child was being rocked up and down in a vertical position on the bosom, Sri Swamigal was in the habit of rolling his head at the neck from right to left. All those who knew him can remember this happy pose of this unique master. It was this simple picture drawn in my memory that did often return again and again to help me on the path of my life. See, beautiful, isn't it? Now here again our sadhana. Whenever we meet great Mahatmas or advanced spiritual seekers or noble souls in our life, as many times as we recall our meeting of those great Mahatmas, that much benefit and blessings it would accrue to all of us. So when I remember Gurudev, my meeting with Gurudev Many times, Gurudev chided me, Gurudev loved me, Gurudev guided me, Gurudev taught me, Gurudev glanced at me, Gurudev smiled at me, Gurudev corrected me many times through his eyes. If I remember all those incidents of my meeting with Pujya Gurudev, different occasions, different places, different situations, when occasions are same, and different messages that he had sent, and different learnings that I got. Whenever I remember them, I am with Gurudev at that moment. This we have to understand. It is not a past. Recalling the eternal presence of a master in the present of our meeting with him sometime in the past, which is there in memory. Recall the memory. But memory, when I bring it back to my present, it is no more a memory, because presence of Gurudev is alive. Liveness is there. Gurudev is live. Mahatmas are alive. They are eternally present. So the memory is only a something called a bahana in Hindi. A means. The moment I remember that incident or event, that moment I am with my Guru. And there's absolutely no doubt about this. So intently I recall that experience, to relive it, including the presence of the master. So here Gurudev says, it was this simple picture drawn in my memory that did often return again and again to help me on the path of my life. So it contained for me a testimony, a testament, and an evergreen hope. Beautiful, isn't it? Think about it. Testimony, testament, an evergreen hope. Yeah, that Mahatma touched me. That Mahatma kept his blessings, hand on, touched my head. He patted me. He guided me. He loved me. He assured me. One statement of a Guru, here and there. Even a passing statement of a Guru, that statement has to be taken seriously. There is something to teach, something to learn for us. That happens only when we spend more time with great masters, often informally. Formally, we go to a lecture and then attend Gurudev's talk or any Mahatma's talk or Pujya Guruji's talk or any great Mahatma's talks in our mission. Many Acharyas are there, many seekers are there, many great sadhakas are there in our mission. Chinmaya Mission only I'm talking. Similarly, many Mahatmas are there everywhere. Wherever you happen to meet them, and spend some time with them and live in their presence consciously. So everything is a great sadhana for us, especially meeting saints and sages. Therefore, Gurudev says, again I'm reading it, it contained for me a testimony, a testament, and an evergreen hope, all in one, for all times. What a beautiful thing. So Guru Smaranam itself is a great thing. It seems, Gurudev said, that my mother had often wondered at, and asked the Swamigal. Mother used to ask, what exactly are you telling him? And what is the language you both use? Because he is not using Malayalam, Tamil or any language. And child, of course, no language, he is only prattling back, something. So mother now tells me that Kochoma told him, that tells me that the Swamigal did answer her. He said, he understands it all. Why do you interfere with us? Swamigal, Chattami Swamigal told Kochoma, unko samajh mein aa raha hai na, tu hamare beech mein kyun pad rahi ho? Why are you coming in between us? He is understanding my language. So this Gurudev called as a secret initiation. Another lesson for all of us. What is that? It's not that Gurudev or any master gives you a mantra and clear-cut instructions, specifically calling you to separately in a room and then telling and guiding. That may be the part of one part of initiation. But then, the most important fact to know is Guru's sankalpa for us itself is a great initiation for us. Sankalpa of a Guru. Guru makes sankalpa. May this student or child grow. That wish is an initiation. It works wonders. He may not have spoken to us explicitly. He may not have given a mantra explicitly. He may not have. But there is always secret initiation going on. Therefore, all the spiritual seekers must attribute their own progress to such initiations given by the great masters, either formally or informally, knowingly or unknowingly, secretly or openly, silently or with words. But our progress is to be attributed to that Guru consciousness, who is none other than Ishvara only. This is what beautiful thing. So Gurudev remembered Chattambi Swami throughout his life. He never forgot him. So he was the first one, Chattambi Swami, who initiated Gurudev secretly. And it is said Chattambi Swami knew who the Balan was, this child, what he is going to be in this life, what his role is going to be in society. He knew. The Mahatmas knew. So such a great Chattambi Swami. We also can invoke by closing our eyes, because he was the first man who initiated, Mahatma initiated Gurudev. These Mahatmas are eternally present. They don't disappear. They are always there, says Gurudev. So may that Chattambi Swami's blessings be on all of us. Okay. So this very, very important Mahatma about Chattambi Swami and his influence on Gurudev. So we need to study about, in a nutshell, Chattambi Swami, whom Swami Vivekananda went and met him. Narayana Guru was his friend. Such a great Mahatma. So may he bless all of us. Now coming back to the story of Pujya Gurudev. So Balakrishna Menon, his primary education was in Sri Ramavarma High School in Ernakulam. Then he moved to Thrissur. We said already, Thrissur he went for schooling. Vivekodayam Boys High School in Thrissur. And Pujya Gurudev was very, very bright, very smart. And he would excel in all kinds of sports. Especially he was fond of tennis and swimming. And Gurudev was very fond of dressing also. That's why even as Chinmayananda also, when Gurudev's dress, whether it is dhoti or angavastra, the dressing, Gurudev's dress, always not shabby, but very wonderfully used to dress. Wonderful means the dhoti and angavastra, or shirt or kurta or the whatever. So he used to very fond of dressing, loving tennis and swimming. And then he completed his undergraduate studies in Thomas College, St. Thomas College in Thrissur from 1937 to 39. And he received his BA degree. So at the age of 39 means he is about 23 years. BA graduated. So after graduation, Pujya Gurudev joined Lucknow University in 1940. During Chinmaya Jyoti Yatra, which I talk about later on, I just mentioned in these talks. We all, some of us, those who were with the Yatra, Jyoti Yatra, we went to Lucknow University, English department. We saw the old halls and buildings. And they also remembered Pujya Gurudev. In the sense, none of them were there now. But this legacy, they remembered, yes, Chinmayananda studied in our institute. So we had a program there. We told all the youth there that such a world famous great Mahatma studied in this college, in this university. So Lucknow University, he joined. For what? Double degree, MA English and LLB. It's a 3-year course. And that course was very popular in those days, MA LLB. 3-year course, MA English, Literature and LLB. Now, Gurudev was, he always would question why, how. Inquisitive. He would wanted to know the answers logically for everything. He just can't accept when anything is not proper around him. He doesn't accept all those things. He was very studious and he used to take certain things seriously. So naturally, he became student union leader in Lucknow University. And he is represent the university in tennis tournaments at national level. So we remember Gurudev watching tennis. He would always watch tennis. In those days, video cassettes used to be there. Some games and all. And he would give the certain commentary also. He will comment very philosophical comments he would give. He would say, where is your mind? Why did you do that? Why did you do this? He would give certain comments he makes while watching tennis. We used to sit around him, and then once or twice I also got up to see the video. But Gurudev was watching video of tennis and we used to watch him. Anyway, now he was actually studying the country situation, British rule, so many things. So the patriotic feeling has awakened in him very strongly in Pujya Gurudev. So in 1942, August, when Quit India movement was announced by Gandhiji, that time, among the students of the university, Gurudev took the lead. He used to get pamphlets done, distribute them, and he used to give speeches, inspiring speeches, that we should not let this British rule us forever. We should kick them out. We should stand united. We should protest. We should turn against all those such kind of speeches. And he was very, very fearless. Totally fearless. And because of his fearlessness, people used to love him. Because, he was a great leader. So everybody used to respect him. He used to stand in good stead. When the entire country is struggling for India's freedom, Balan also joined. So you would say, okay, at least now my energy was so much. Dynamism is there. I need direction. Now I found it. What? In working hard for the country's freedom. So he was very happy with it. Now, because of his activity, he fell in the eyes of the government and police. So a lot of turbulence used to be there among the youth in those days. Protesters used to protest against the government, and then hartal and dharna, whatever it is. When those things are happening, in those days, then police people have to find out who is good. And then they found naturally Balan is one of the student leaders in university, and he should be, tested up, and they should keep their eyes on him. And then many times Balan used to evade arrests, police on many occasions. He never used to come so he used to run away. Because of this turbulence and all, he could not complete his LLB degree. He later on he comes back and completes it, of course, in literature and all that, and we'll see later on. So when Quit India movement was announced, Gurudev was just 26 years old, doing his post-graduation in Lucknow University. So when he escaped that university, because police is searching him, arrest warrant, this Balan has to be arrested. He's inspiring speeches and he's talking against British and all that. So he ran away underground and surfaced where? In Abbottabad in Pakistan, now in Pakistan. In Abbottabad he went, and there, through his friends and all, he joined British Intelligence Department. See that? He escaped and joined British Intelligence Department. That's called a wireless experimental center. So you would give wireless messages, you would get. They have to decode them and submit to their officers. That was the work he was doing in Abbottabad, working for British people. So there were some wireless operators, some decoders, and some deciphers. And he used to work silently there, and nobody knew. And they wanted to arrest him. But he joined only British intelligence agent, under them only, in their department about Abbottabad. No one knew, and he was working like that. So his junior was there, Captain Krishnan Nair. He had recalled in those days, he would know. Then once he mentioned about Swami Shivananda. That time, it never registered in him properly. But he mentioned that there's a great saint is there, Swami Shivananda. He just returned from Malaysia. That we will see about Swami Shivananda's life afterwards. So he came back. But he did not take it that seriously. He just overheard, it's okay. But mostly Balanji's eyes were, focus was only on freedom, in India's freedom. And then police were searching him. So somehow, he left, Balan also left Abbottabad, and sometime around early 1943, Gurudev, that is Balan, was arrested and jailed for his activities. So Gurudev was jailed. Balan was jailed for his activities against the British. And the police kept on chasing him. Where is this Balakrishna Menon? We have to arrest him. Think. Then in the jail, all those youth who were become rebels against the British government, those who are participating in freedom struggle, they want to suppress all those movements, Britishers. So what happened? When he was jailed, Gurudev was in jail, he spent a couple of months there, but because of hotel, when the present life or food or whatever it is, Gurudev's health started deteriorating. Already, Gurudev was a very frail structure. Very thin he was. And added to that, jail food, in the imprisoned jail, and whatever happened, his health started deteriorating. Completely got typhoid, this and that. So in those days, when he became so sick and doctors told him that he may not survive. He may not survive. Then police officers, the police people thought, no. If this guy dies in the hotel, if this person dies in the hotel, in the prison, what will happen? There will be more problem in the society. They will protest more. They may turn against police. They may create some kind of riots because youth died in police custody. So they don't want this problem to come. So what did they do? They simply brought that very, very sick, dilapidated, very, very unhealthy Balan and threw him on the road. Meaning he won't survive. He will die. They don't want to. So they threw him on the road. Brought out of the jail, threw him on the road. Guru is lying down on the road. No energy at all to move. That time, a Christian lady, she was going in her car. Her son was also in army, who died in army in the war, in the Second World War, in some other countries, in England or somewhere. Her son died, and Gurudev's nose, when he was lying down on the road, nose reminded her of her son. So the nose resembling Balan's nose, resembling her son's nose. She saw a youngster youth, about 26-year-old boy, 27, 20. He was lying down on the road. She had suddenly emotion. This boy is looking like my son only. So she stopped the car. She's a fairly rich lady. She took Balan, got him admitted in hospital first. But then when the nursing was started, nurses nursing him and all, then she saw many, many marks, the police beatings, marks on the body. Then she thought, no, it is not good to keep him in the hospital. So she brought him to her own house and she started nursing him for some time till Balan recovered. So Gurudev used to say, had that lady not been there in the scene, maybe what would have happened? Gurudev would have left the body then and there, and on that condition. And Gurudev often used to say, my nose has saved me. My nose has saved me. See, friends, again, I'm just adding one or two sentences here and there. Gurudev used to say, every saint had a past, every sinner has a future. When we saw Swamy Chinmayananda busy traveling by air, by road, by car, surrounded by so many devotees and bhaktas and great honor and respect and oratory skills he had, and then everybody was standing around him with great reverence and devotion. It just doesn't happen like that. Behind him, in this life only, Gurudev underwent so many struggles. Even including the struggles to explore the Vedantic truths and realize them. And that too under the great strictest master of the times whom we know, that's Swami Tapon Maharaj. We will see about that later on. So after he recouped from that, he thanked that lady. Then he moved to Baroda. Father and all knew, they came to know, so they sent him to Baroda, where Gurudev spent with his cousin Achyuta Menon. For about 6 months, he was in Baroda, recouping health. 6 months were very frail, almost, gone to the portals of death, I would say. That's why they threw him out of the jail. And Achyuta Menon and his wife, they used to take care of very well. They employed a servant. They used to give fruits and milk, and then even they were out of station also, but servant used to take care of Gurudev. So they ensured every Gurudev was taken care of properly in the house. With all comfort, Gurudev was taken care. So at that time, he used to browse periodicals, journals, etc. That time, already is a lot of thoughts and ideas were there. He's also a university student, already wanted the rebel against the Britishers. He already participating in the freedom movement of our country, Quit India movement, etc. He was a leader in the university, youth leader. So when he came across these articles of Swami Shivananda, Divine Society, he started, what is this? What am I reading? That stirred him, Pujya Gurudev. And started noticing some certain things in spiritual thinking. So he read that, information had gone about Swami Shivananda, and he would read so many other books also he read. So he recovered completely, Pujya Gurudev, about 7-8 months, 6-7 months, he completely recovered. And then he came back to Lucknow to begin where he had left his studies, journalism, and both. So he started getting trained as a journalist under K. Ramarao. Ramarao ji, editor of National Herald, Lucknow. And in those days, Mr. Ramarao was considered as one of the genius in journalism, in this journalism school of days in those days. And when training institutions are not there, journalism, he used to be considered as a great man, moving journalist, school of journalism he was. So in December 1945, Balan's first article came out in National Herald, and this was followed by a series of other articles. So he started writing under K. Ramarao's guidance. And then, of course, his own pen started flowing, which never stopped till Gurudev left his mortal coil. The pen took different shapes and turns and directions, and then gone deep into Vedanta. It never ended. It has gone through the commentaries of Upanishads and Gita and many other textbooks and great articles and lessons. Oh my God. Went on and on. That pen. So he worked for some time in National Herald, and afterwards he became a freelance journalist. That is the beauty. Now, one aspect of Gurudev, the story will continue. So that is Gurudev. Now, Gurudev used to have one friend. Why that? This is also very important. How this turned him into more thinking. His friend's name was very close, thick friend, Narendra Shroff. He was very, very close friend from his college days. And Narendra Shroff used to live in Delhi. And this Narendra Shroff's father, a lawyer in Madras High Court, and he knew Gurudev's father, Kuttan Menanji. So Narendra Shah's father and Gurudev's father friends. So Balan and Narendra also became good friends. And they used to play tennis together, they used to travel, etc. Now, Narendra ji was married, and he got a son. But after some time, quickly, not so much time, Vidivashat, Narendra ji got a paralytic stroke. And seeing that close friend became like that, bubbling with energy, life, and all that, he became paralytic. Because he was the one who used to visit Gurudev when he was not well. He visited him, took care of him also. Very close friend. So that shakenness, that Gurudev, because Gurudev used to go to him frequently and apply massage and all that. He did care light. So the oils were there. Paralytic stroke, some massage and talk to him. But then he was disturbed. Gurudev was disturbed seeing his own close friend like that. But anyway, we'll complete the Narendra story later on. So he used to visit Narendra and come back to Lucknow University. And he completed his schooling and all that, the graduation and all. Then Gurudev said, after walking out of the university, Gurudev said himself, a perfect peacock with a MA English for its tail. A perfect peacock with a MA English for its tail, and was slowly growing and maturing in the school of life. Gurudev read this. Slowly maturing in the school of life. So Gurudev's graduation is complete. So now, Gurudev used to travel Delhi, used to come to Delhi as a journalist, and he would attend certain parties. His friend circle was there. Some parties used to be there. Suited, coated, booted. Swamy Chinmayananda in those days, the journalist, dressing well. Already he is very fond of dressing. So he used to attend certain parties. And then one of the party, first time he went there, one of the parties, he observed that how is past life, Gurudev past life, meaning how as a journalist in those days he went to attend a party and what he saw. Very beautiful thing. All these things created an impact and ultimately an urge, deep urge in him to study Vedanta, to study more and more about scriptures and all that. How it is coming now? He says, Gurudev says, a palace of life, how the people in the palace of life, he saw it. Palace of life, a big party was going on. One small paragraph only I will read, because it's a big one Gurudev wrote. Small thing. Gurudev says, in the party, everybody party, dancing, meeting, perhaps holding their own cup of the wine or whatever it is. In their studied smiles were tears. They were all smiling outside, but in their smiles, there were tears. The dance parties and all. In their insincere, made to laughter. Their laughter is not correct, insincere. They are made to laugh. So in their insincere, made to laughter, they were sighs of voiceless, deep regrets. Baba. We're all smiling in a party, but behind each smile, there is voiceless, deep regret. Their heartless love, concealed, beautiful, stormy hatreds. Outside, oh, very great, very wonderful, I love you so much, so happy for you. Good that you got this house, good that you got a car, good that you did this, good that you did that. So my love for you, very happy, but heartless love. So their heartless love concealed stormy hatreds. So as though Gurudev was seeing the X-ray of the entire show, party. Inside, what is happening? stormy hatreds, grudging sympathies, and poisonous rivalries. Each suffered and contributed lavishly to the total suffering. Big one, I've just put only one paragraph. This indicates, this Gurudev saw how the life is. In all parties, it's like that. If you touch the core of the being, there is a sorrow hidden, jealousies, hatred, dissatisfaction, suppression, depression, insecurity, fear, unhappiness. And that party Gurudev saw. Then he thought, one side Narendra Shroff, other side he came across Swami's articles. How life has put him in prison and then came out and then he escaped death. And now he saw the life. It's all empty, incomplete. Then he decided, no, I must do something else. So what is the meaning of true life? He wanted to seek for himself. Yeah, what's the meaning of true life then? One side of the tragedies, one side is emptiness everywhere. Like Buddha saw that dead body or old man and he changed. And a sick man, he changed. So Gurudev saw one close death, the ill health of the friend, now paralytic stroke. Of course, he will die later. That he died, that we will see later. Emptiness behind all this materialistic life, dances, like Gurudev, the wine and dance and etc., parties. So then he decided, I must follow, because that thoughts already there. He read all some spiritual letters of Shivananji and all. So I must pursue this lonely divine life. That time, Gurudev said, Japa came back to Balan, which he used to practice in his childhood. And this decision was soon followed by an intense study of philosophy, both Indian and European. He started studying books now. Philosophy, both Indian philosophy and European philosophy. Turning point. And then he studied a little bit about Shivananji, little bit articles, but now he came across the books by Swami Shivananda, no, not periodicals and articles and journals. That's their background. But now, as an aspirant, he accidentally stumbled upon books written by Swami Shivananda ji, Swami Vivekananda ji, Swami Ramatirtha, Aurobindo, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, and others. And he started reading those books. So he saw life, the struggles of life, emptiness of life, and one side spiritual masters, spiritual books. Then it said they all saved Menon. They all gave direction to Balan's efforts. They comforted him. They cheered him up. They encouraged these books. All these studies had put Balan on the road to God. Why? Because, ultimately, question is, what is that the solution for all problems of mankind? What is that which gives peace and contentment to all the unsettling minds of the people? Our restless minds, greedy minds, insecure minds. Disease, in a way, all our minds are diseased minds. What is that which makes one happy? This is a struggle. Then he had that. Gurudev also suspecting also. So you want what a trick of the Mahatmas. Why? What does sannyasis do? Life is like this. Books are there, but are they really contributing? How this spirituality is really contributing to society? Or is it only individual, selfish oriented? This knowledge, those who study, they are benefited, or is it really beneficial to the society? What is that complete? Are they? But once a society is not good, once these people speak about their own joy of inner joy and sadhana, and they guide people, but then what is their contribution to society? Is that knowledge enough for the society? Or social evils are plenty? What are the solutions for all these things? So Gurudev say, I want to expose these sannyasis. I want to know them, their tricks. Let me see them. There's a mixture of thought. He had read the books, and still he had want to explore more, but he also want the answers for life. Can all the problems are solved by spiritual thinking? Or what is the role of these Mahatmas? Are they the assets of society, or they simply prey upon the society? Preying upon means what is their contribution? It's a question. With that, so curiosity coupled with the experience of empty life in that party. So the churning was going on inside Gurudev. So he wanted to know, write articles on these Swamis and Sannyasis sitting in Himalayas. So he reached Swami Shivananda Ashram in Rishikesh, somewhere in July 1946. Stayed for 2 to 3 months there. Where? In Shivananda Ashram, Swami Shivananda Ashram, Rishikesh, Divine Society founder. And he stayed there for 2 to 3 months. From July to October 1946. That time, no article was written and published by him. He just came out from his regular work and he was just wanted to study there. Now here I would like to share something which is not in the record of Chinmaya Mission books. Now how will I know? I'll just tell you. First time Balan reached Shivananda Ashram. I will tell 2 such incidents, 2 things which are not known to any of the people, except some of us who met that Mahatma about whom I am talking. Swami Shivanandaji had many monks. He initiated many people, and there were some who were initiated into sannyasa by Swami Shivanandaji before the batch of Pujya Gurudev, the batch of people, 7 people who were initiated along with the Gurudev in 1949. Much before that, Swami Shivanandaji had initiated some of the persons into monk life or sannyasa. Some of them. And one among them was Swami Yoganandaji. Swami Yoganandaji. He was already sannyasi, but angered to Gurudev by 7 years. 6 years or so. 6 years. But he became sannyasi. He was also Keralite. He also worked in some abroad, some country for some time. He was under Swami Shivanandaji. He got Diksha. He was in a small room used to Kutia. So when Balan went first time, Shivanandaji told, because Yoganandaji told us all these things. Swami Yoganandaji, we met. He attained Samadhi in 2015. Yes, 2015. And we used to go very frequently to him. About him, I'll just tell you today. In this talk that I'll conclude. So Swami Yoganandaji was given Diksha by Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj. And Swami Yogananda ji used to live in their ashram. So when I believe Yogananda used to told us that when Balan was there, first entered, then Swami Yogananda, Shivananda ji told Swami Yogananda ji, called him, you two Malayalis, same thing word, you two Malayalis stay in one room. So he told Balan, you stay with him. That Swami monk is there, you go and stay. Malayali room, you stay there. So Gurudev used to stay in Swami Yogananda's room. And about Gurudev, Swami Yogananda used to tell us, he was very, very charming, but very inquisitive and questioning type of individual. He is never used to accept anything without proper investigation, and he would stay in his own room. And Swami Yogananda used to tell all those things, many things he used to share. That was Yogananda. And but why Yogananda came out of Divine Society? Yogananda, after maybe 1948, he came to South India in the end of 1948, I think. He was absorbed so much in meditation, so Yogananda, he doesn't want to participate in any of the activity because mind is withdrawn, not the laziness, mind withdrawn. So he went and Swami Shivananda said, I wanted to spend more time in sadhana, so I cannot continue. I mean, can I stay here? Swami Shivananda told, I believe, see, we are all working here, staying here. All the other monks also are working. I know that you are absorbing yourself in meditations. That is good. But if you don't work in the ashram, they will also get another chance that quoting you, the others can become lazy. Therefore, I suggest you don't stay in the ashram. Go to South India. I am with you always. My blessings are there with you. Go and continue your tapasya. Go. And this Swami Yogananda ji came to South India. He settled there in a small hillock near Visakhapatnam called Bhimunipatnam. He used to stay there and lived from 48 to 2015. There on the hillock. He died at the age of 93, when he was 93 years old. So he just lived like that. And on that hillock, alone, Mahatapasvi and Paramadvaiti. Nothing other than oneness. So we used to go when I was Acharya, Brahmacharyas in Visakhapatnam. I used to go there, and many of the monks also used to go meet Yogananda ji, and we would spend 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Absolute, no audience, just for 3 or 4 people. He used to talk to us, and he used to narrate so many things about that ashram. And that Mahatma told us, and Swami Yogananda ji also told us, without Chinmaya, you are all a big zero. You would always say, without Chinmaya, you are all a big zero. This Yogananda ji came back and settled in that place near Visakhapatnam. During 2001, our Golden Jubilee celebrations of Chinmaya Mission, I was there in Visakhapatnam at that time. I went and asked Swamiji, this we are celebrating. He said, good, go. He is Maram Viragi. I requested him, sir, Swamiji, you please give a message. I will get a video. I will record your video message. You are with Swami Shivananda, Diksha with Shivananda, you are with Gurudev's roommate. You must tell something. At least 15-20 minutes speak about it. Then I will present it there. He never agreed or just denied at that time. He just quietly heard. I thought he accepted it. When I came back to Vizag from Bhimunipatnam, next day he had sent somebody from ashram and with a warning to me that if he wants to come to me, meet me with a camera to record, let him not come to me ever. I am not going to record. I am not going to talk anything. If he wants to come, let him come and meet me, but not for recording purposes and all that, he said. So I kept quiet. I wanted that message to go across. That didn't happen. He did. But Parama Viragi doesn't want to be known to the world much. So that was Yogananda ji. So Gurudev met there and they stayed there in Shivananda Ashram. So he reached Shivananda Ashram today. So next class, we will study about Swami Shivananda Maharaj, his life, and then how Gurudev's journey continues. So I conclude here. for this session. Thank you very much. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for a very fascinating and very illuminating account about Swami Chinmayananda ji and about Swami Chattampi Swami ji and so many people. I mean, just to listen to these accounts is a blessing, in fact, about how this land has blessed us with so many enlightened, so many divine people walking among us even today. It was a wonderful beginning of this series of lectures, Swamiji. Thank you very much. I don't think we have any questions per se. I mean, it's a Shravana time, I would say, this weekend, rather than any question and answer Vada Vivada. So we would conclude the session with this, and I think it's a very fascinating account. I look forward to the evening session for you to continue this session, Swamiji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Viewers, don't forget to join the session in the evening at 4 p.m. With this, we conclude. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.